Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike and T-Roy. T-Roy's here. What up, T?
Hello, happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. Sad Monday for me.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I don't give up on my team. I'm still wearing gear
Yeah, that's fair.
today.
Well, they're not the NFC champions.
No, they
Sure.
were a couple of years ago.
They were. At one
They were
point.
Miami bound, and then I spilled yogurt.
Yeah,
It's
sure,
like I came
that's
when I saw
yogurt.
it. It was my chakra. What was that? My middle chakra?
That's your solar plexus chakra.
No, it was innocently enough a droplet of yogurt.
Yeah, lands where it lands, right?
Lands where it lands. But yeah, I will admit it looks very much like cum.
Yeah.
And it looks like the exact spot it would land if you were
Yeah, just about.
laying on your back. Just
Sure.
Yeah, but it was yogurt.
I guess not all trajectories the same, but okay.
No, exactly.
Fair enough. Yeah, sad day. Sorry. But,
Yeah. I'm excited
good-
for Matt Stafford.
it's a good game either
A
way.
lot of people reached out to me wondering was I conflicted. You know, I was conflicted when the Tigers played my Giants in the World Series.
Yeah.
And I've often said that was the worst World Series ever. Like it was hard to root for either team, and then the Tigers laid a fucking egg.
Yeah.
And got swept in 4 games. It was just a blowout. That sucked. That World Series sucked because I loved that Tigers team, and it's
Yeah.
like really.
That would have been great if it would just went 7 games, you know,
Yeah,
full distance
something.
either way. But to have one team come up and just shit themselves,
Yeah.
it's kind of a
It
disappointment.
was a
for sure.
bummer. Stafford was dead to me yesterday. That's what my Niners love is like.
Yeah.
Now, keeping in mind, Stafford is in my division now, right?
Yeah.
He's in the NFC West. I rooted for him every single week unless he was playing the Niners. That's where I was. I would never root for the Rams. Was rooting for,
Stafford.
Detroit West.
Yeah.
Because Detroit is on that ride with Matt Stafford. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, and we wanted him to go somewhere to have a legitimate chance.
Yeah.
He deserves it after
And
what he went through here.
Proud of his play. All the fucking people around this town for years who said he couldn't win a big game. Just, I hope they all shut their mouths now. The dude's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, let's hope.
I mean, whether he wins or loses, he just won 3 playoff games in a row. So this idea that Matt Stafford was the problem, no, Matt Stafford did exactly what I thought Matt Stafford would do. And in fact, a year ago, almost to the day, is when I said Rams are going to the Super Bowl. That was my prediction. The day he got signed by the Rams, I went, oh, he's going to a real team with real players and a real coach and real ownership. He's going to win the whole goddamn thing. That was my pick.
And he very well might.
In fucking February of last year.
Yeah.
And now he's on the cusp. So I'll be rooting as hard for Stafford as anyone.
Yeah, I will be too now.
In 2
especially.
weeks, you know.
I'd like to see him get it.
Yeah.
Especially that. I think the Bengals will have their chance.
Yeah.
They're young. It's hard to get there your first time and win it.
Yeah.
they
But
have
Burrow's there for his first time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you were Stafford too.
Yeah.
But,
Well, the Rams have been there. McVay's been there and all that.
and
but,
lost, but yeah, we're seeing a different side of Stafford too. I don't know. You were gone all weekend. You look banged up from it. I'll be honest
rough.
with you.
Yeah, that was
all right.
a rough weekend.
We can talk about that in a minute, but
Oh, goody.
no, Staff. This is a different dude right now. A dude that see how easy that is, T? That's your yogurt. You just spilled it all over your belly button chakra. Skeet, skeet, skeet. Stafford's making comments in post game.
Yeah.
We've never seen him make ever.
Really?
I mean, he's usually on a shitty team that's out of the playoff picture by week 6, and so there's no shit talking in that game. When he beat Brady, his comment was something like, "Yeah, it's nice to go in there on a final drive and steal someone's soul." You've never heard Stafford say something like that.
He hasn't had the opportunity to really do it.
Yeah. And yesterday he's like, oh, these guys went out and kicked ass. He's talking about how they played it, and it was nice to kick those damn red jerseys out of our house too. Like shit talking Matt Stafford.
Okay.
And I was laughing. I was like, we've never seen this dude do that, say
Right.
things like that, behave like that.
Just think if he had been on a legit team all along.
Oh yeah,
You know?
cock of the walk kind of fucking.
Yeah, right.
He's
Just
begocking all over the
running
stadium.
the shit.
Yeah, it's funny. So I'm happy for him, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. I'm sorry you were gone for at least part of the day. You and Tooch went ice fishing. I can't,
Yeah, I had a great time.
dude. I mean, I think of ice fishing as just like sitting there with a pole and a wire.
Well,
I know that's not how you two are
Correct.
clowns are going to do it. Of
course not.
But at the same time, you looked like you went through training camp or Hell Week.
Yeah.
You came in, you're just hunched over and
That's
walking like the vanilla gorilla that I know, but
Or it's on the lake, so there's different ways to do it, obviously. But if you go out and you're like ice fishing, you're just kind of there all day. So you have your little shanty with your heater to stay in or whatever. But I'm not gonna. We had the house right there, so
Yeah.
I was in the shanty for a little bit doing a little fishing, but normally just had tip ups going around. And so you'd walk inside, sit down, have a drink, maybe have something to eat, whatever,
Yeah.
and then watch for your little flag to come up that there's a fish. Well, whoop. Put your shit on, put all your shit back on, and then go walk, 100 fucking yards
Yeah.
out to the lake. And sometimes it was a fish, sometimes it wasn't, but then turn around and walk through the snow. It just beat me up, man.
yeah.
And I did a little snowmobile riding.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
That definitely did not help.
Did you do that out on the lake?
Yeah, I was ripping. I got up to like 68.
Really?
Yeah, ripping across the lake. It was pretty
Nice.
good. Yeah.
God, I wish I could have joined you guys. I just couldn't do it with my
get
team
it.
playing.
I get it.
I had to watch all the obnoxious pregame.
Oh, yeah. It was a Niner sporgy from the minute
Yeah.
I walked out the door here.
Yeah, it was. What I've learned, there is almost nothing. I'm going to go as far as saying there is zero useful from talking heads talking sports.
I know. Nothing.
Like you don't watch much pregame.
I try
Like,
not
you
to
get
because
to the game,
because of that. Yeah.
and I've just been so programmed to do it. But they don't know fuck all. They don't know anything more than anybody else.
Nope.
They just go, oh yeah, I think so and so is going to have a monster day, and then he shits the bed.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, I could have just said that. Like, there's no,
No.
Kittle's going to go off. He's going to have 2 touchdowns and 120 yards tonight. And you're like,
Okay.
Okay.
And if he doesn't, okay.
there's nothing. Yeah, there's
Exactly.
no
So
one
you
that's
just
going to
say whatever you want.
Yeah,
Just
and-
blabbering idiots.
and they do it. They're trying to fill hours and hours of
That's
time.
the worst part of it. Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
can't stand. I don't mind going on there a half hour before the game, catch any find out the
Injury report.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who's not available and any late breaking news about the game. But I can't just sit there and watch that shit because it's the same garbage.
Yeah.
For 4 hours before the game starts.
And yelling at each other like,
Oh, I know.
my stupid thing knows more than your stupid thing. We both have takes.
Right.
Dan Orlovsky's taking fucking victory laps over Matt Stafford, like I sort of did.
Mm-hmm.
But I really believe in Stafford, and so does he. But Stafford easily could have lost that game and probably should have in some respects.
Yeah.
He threw a pick that was just flat dropped that would have changed a lot of that game. A couple good drives in the fourth. Great. Good for him. Got it done. 49ers didn't deserve to move on. Stafford easily could have lost that game,
Absolutely.
though. And then it would have been just like, oh, now Stephen A. Smith or whoever is going to be talking shit. Like Stafford blows. And you're like, it's
Right.
just brutal. Yeah, and I've watched too much of it.
So is that every game basically that's had a last second field goal essentially of this
Yeah.
last 2 weeks of the playoffs?
Yeah.
Basically, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and there was a last second field goal that put it to overtime for that Kansas City Buffalo game.
Yeah.
That ended in a touchdown, but there was still a
And
last
the-
second
and the-
field goal to get there.
The Niners-Rams game didn't end on a field goal, but
It was came down to a field goal. I mean, it was a field goal
it was
difference.
a field
I
goal
mean.
difference, and then the Niners got the ball back,
Had
and
a
Jimmy
chance.
Garoppolo,
Oh, yeah.
and just chicken winged one out there, tipped, picked, and then it's Stafford to
It's
take
over.
a knee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've learned a lot watching these guys for a few days. Just like, yeah, these guys really bring nothing to the table.
Well, not really.
This is just incredible.
Yeah,
I don't know
I'm
why
proud of you.
Why am
I'm
I
glad-
doing this?
Yay. We've turned a corner around here.
You know what I need, T? I need hobbies. I need a hobby
Yeah.
of some sort.
Yeah, you do.
Because if you don't have anything else to do,
Mm-hmm.
or you're not occupied by anything else, you're just going to find yourself wallowing in that shit.
Yeah.
So
Let's find you a hobby.
I got to look back at this. My hobbies are too expensive. Legos are too expensive.
Well, you can get new hobbies.
Yeah.
Let's try ice fishing.
Yeah. After seeing what it did to you this weekend,
Yeah,
I don't think
well.
I'll ever do that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I'll bounce
Maybe.
right back.
Yeah, you will. You will. Hey, I got to say, man, last week we were talking a lot about Spotify and Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you asked the best question in that discussion when you were hinting around, like, is there any, like, could you get the ball rolling on a bunch of people like joining Neil Young?
Yeah.
Would that make a difference?
Yeah.
And
Your farm aid against Joe Rogan.
right, and it turns into like a whole shit show, and it's like at that point, what do?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
if the company's losing money out the ass, if they're hemorrhaging.
Yeah. You better fucking get something more than Joni Mitchell on your squad, though.
Yeah.
If you're gonna put a squad together,
Yeah.
Neil and Joni aren't gonna fucking get it done.
Nils Lofgren isn't enough for you? No. Well, the lists that were coming out over the weekend
Yeah.
were hilarious. I mean, the lists were like Paul McCartney, Pearl Jam, Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, Nirvana, all yanking their music from Spotify. And I was like, damn.
Right. Like now we're talking about
Okay.
tipping the scales,
Now-
perhaps.
now we're not talking about Neil Young,
Yeah.
80-year-old Neil Young, who gives a flying fuck. Take your music out. Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? And Joni Mitchell, who cares?
Yeah.
Not relevant in 50 years. Who gives a shit? But Pearl Jam,
It's a little different.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, these are stadium acts.
Yeah.
Currently, so I don't. None of that has been substantiated at all.
No.
Like you said, I think it's Nils Lofgren,
Yeah.
Barry Manilow,
There's not a lot going on right now.
Neil Young.
Yeah.
But it made Rogan make a statement. He came out last night, a 9-minute video, and was as measured as you'd think Joe Rogan would be.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, he posted it to Instagram if anyone wants to go watch it. We're not going to watch the whole 9 minutes here. But he says he's going to try to balance things out, which I'm a little disappointed in.
Well,
I think he does balance things out.
he does for the most part. He could probably go a little harder to really try and get opposing viewpoints on there. And I think that was more of where he was at. He wasn't necessarily backpedaling, or I watched a bit of it today. I didn't watch the full 9
Yeah.
minutes, but I caught that part, and I kind of thought the same thing. And he's not making any wholesale changes, but I could see him, whether it is in trying to have multiple guests to talk about a subject, to have somebody on either side. So during that show, you can debate back and forth, which he's done.
Yeah.
On some level. But when you're talking about, this is
I
all
don't think
coming
he can
back.
get him to do it.
Some
I
of-
don't think those people on the mainstream narrative side will debate.
Not, and
these
maybe
doctors.
not, and no, and he said he's tried, and he hasn't
tried.
been able to.
Yeah.
But okay, so maybe that is, so then you follow that up with the very next show, the next day, you bring on the opposing viewpoint, and you can flip it that way.
Yeah.
And he has done it, but it's not like part of his, routine to just automatically kind of do it that way. And if he thinks, okay, if you guys think that I'm being too, his whole point is to put information out there, I think.
Yeah.
And whatever it is, not without an agenda.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I think,
Everybody has it to a certain degree.
if someone's trying to push me to do something like that, like obviously this show has 6 listeners. So who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
No one's going to go demand equal time.
Right.
Right. But I would feel like, no, I'm going to pick who we're going to have on, or T, or whoever.
Yeah.
But you're not going to force that on us. We're fucking around for fun, kind of like Rogan is.
Yeah.
His gets, you could argue none of those doctors that he's had on, right? Peter McCullough or Robert Malone, they are persona non grata on any mainstream media outlet. They're not welcome on Twitter,
Absolutely.
Facebook. They're not welcome on MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN. Not welcome.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about equal time or getting the counter narrative, like Rogan has some responsibility. That narrative is everywhere. It's rammed down our throats every minute of the day on every mainstream news channel.
True.
So Rogan has a handful of guys who are creme de la creme in their field. I'm sorry, they're credentialed out the ass from the biggest universities on planet Earth.
Yeah.
On the biggest boards in American medicine, the most published doctors in the history of American doctors. You can't get more credentialed and expert in these fields
Yeah.
than the guys he's having on. Like, that's just, okay, there's another narrative out there that you're not hearing about. And I don't understand this, like, idea, like, oh, now we need to have a different show the next day that challenges everything.
Well,
these
not
people say.
necessarily, and it's not everything, but I mean, everybody knew that McCullough and the Malones were going to be controversial. Yeah, that it was
Yeah.
at least going to stoke the fire, whatever. I see it a couple different ways. One, I think that just his numbers and everything going on, more so than a pressure of changing his views, is that he's feeling the pressure of his obligation of
power?
his right, of his social responsibility of what he's doing.
Yeah.
And in for transparency, saying, okay, well, I'm not coming out here like Alex Jones and just feeding one side and not letting any other thing be told.
Right.
I want the truth to be out there. I want this to be a debate. And by doing that, great. I'll bring somebody on to debate Dr. Malone. If anyone will come,
Yeah.
I'll bring somebody on the next day to try and refute everything that he said, if they can, because that's a win on his part. If he can bring somebody, one of these fucking dick bags that come in here that just start screaming misinformation, cancel them,
Yeah.
without any real facts or proof, great, come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you that
There's a
opportunity
doctor-
to come and say that and have your piece. Then tell me why. And you're going to start seeing that they're not going to be able
They're
to
not
do
gonna
it.
do it.
So they just want action without the consequences without the action.
Who's the doctor? I can't remember his name.
Spock.
Spock. No, it's not Dr. Spock. But he's got a $2 million standing offer to anyone to dispute his claims about COVID origins, pandemic responses.
Nobody's cashed in on that, huh?
No one's cashed in on it. It's
Shocking.
been standing for a year.
Shocking.
And he's $2 million. Debate me. Tell me where I'm wrong on this. Nobody's cashed in.
But he's
should
probably-
tell you something.
He's probably being attacked for his misinformation out
Oh,
there.
I'm sure. I'm sure. You know, I would say Dr. Sanjay Gupta went on Rogan's show,
Yeah,
embarrassed himself.
clearly.
Like if you watch that episode, and Joe has a lot of respect for Sanjay Gupta. Sanjay Gupta went in the ring and got fucking tore up by a non-doctor.
Yep.
Just did.
Yep.
And had to admit that CNN shouldn't have said that about Horst Warmer. Essentially lied about you, and then basically went and retracted it when he got back to the stable and went on Don Lemon's show. We all saw that play out in real time. He looked foolish. He also had on Michael Osterholm, Dr. Michael Osterholm, who's a member of President Joe Biden's COVID-19 advisory board, and Dr. Peter Hortez from Baylor College of Medicine,
Yeah.
who are on the all on the mainstream shit. So to act like Joe Rogan doesn't have those guys on,
True.
he's had them on.
I agree. I mean,
And
totally
they
fair.
haven't won the battle when they've been on. They haven't looked very good.
Exactly right.
So
That's just it. They're crying, but they don't know what they're crying about.
yeah.
They're just crying because they're getting crushed, and and word is being put out that they don't want out.
I keep asking someone to send me something, anything. Give me something to go on. What you deem misinformation, disinformation.
I mean, even our retard speak over here is I don't even think we've misinformed
No.
on anything that we've said.
No. It's got to be something deeper than this. So Neil Young doesn't give a flying fuck if what he deems alt-right conservative people drop dead. Right? Neil Young doesn't give a fuck about those people.
No, he's just drinking
in
the
middle
Kool-Aid.
America that when he's talking about people dying from COVID or misinformation that's dangerous and killing people. You think Joni Mitchell gives a flying fuck, or Eddie Vedder, or they despise those people, right? Most of the people listening to the show are fucking despised by those people. They don't give a shit if you drop dead. So there's got to be something more, because the liberals have done everything perfect. They're masked. They're double masked when they're driving around.
Yeah.
They've gotten all their boosters. They can't wait to hop in line for the next booster shot that Pfizer tells them to get or the government tells them to get.
Exactly.
They can't fucking wait for that.
That's the
when do I get
difference.
my next boost of juice?
Yeah, because they think they're doing the right
So-
thing.
so
and
then
anybody
what
that's
is
not
the-
is
Is it just straight about canceling what's deemed a conservative voice? I can't even call Rogan a conservative voice. That's hilarious.
I know.
He's the farthest thing from a conservative voice. He's as conservative voice as Bill Maher is.
Yeah.
Like, just because he comes out and sees your fucking insane behavior right now, Bill Maher or Joe Rogan, and calls that shit out like they should, doesn't, and makes them heroes to the Fox News audience for a day.
if you're not for us, you're against us.
Right.
That's it. There is no in between.
Anyway, Rogan posted this video. He said, try to balance things out. Rogan responded to accusations that he was spreading COVID misinformation from the likes of Neil Young, Dr. Neil Young, Dr. Prince Harry, and Dr. Meghan Markle, saying he was only seeking to have
Meghan's just a nurse.
conversations. Nurse Meghan Markle. He was just seeking to have conversations with people who have differing opinions. No, I don't even think it's differing opinions. I think it's interesting people.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, right? I know what it's like to interview people, and I know what you're looking for when you want to interview someone. Interesting people wins out 100% of the time.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's still entertainment.
Yeah, it's
the point of it.
Yeah, and if you can get, and Rogan's got access to really interesting people.
Yeah.
You know,
And I mean, Malone, I mean, he's dry as a popcorn fart.
yeah.
But and to do 3+ hours with
Yeah.
somebody like that and not just be like,
yeah, yawn out of it. Yeah,
Yeah, just total Dreamweaver on that shit. But
Yeah.
he wasn't, because he was engaging. It was the way it went, went back and forth. It wasn't, you're relying on his information.
Yeah,
And you're steering that in a way to keep it, on point and relevant and fresh somewhat, and not, he's not on there because he's, entertaining. He's
Right.
not on there because he's
he's got
super,
wild party stories to,
Yeah,
to relive and
exactly.
rehash with you.
But
I reached out to our favorite liberal douchebag,
Eddie,
Ed Grabo, today. Yeah, he emailed, and I'll get to his email later. But I texted him, and I just said, "Hey, just out of curiosity, do you think Joe Rogan is spreading dangerous, deadly misinformation?" Mm-hmm. And he responded, "No."
good.
And then
you
he
go.
wrote me a book.
Yeah, of course.
And
Short
I s-
answer, no.
I
Long
said-
answer,
But one of the things he was saying, and this is where it gets really, really hard. People like Ed, some friends we know that do research that are kind of in the weeds in some of these fields, it gets very complicated very quick. And so when you're talking about examining medical papers, for instance, like, dude, it's just, I don't have the brain capacity. You don't have the brain capacity. I'm not doing it. It's boring in the weeds shit. And so what he said was, I thought Dr. Malone, super credentialed. There's no debate about that. Measured. He was taking he thought Rogan should have pressed harder on some things. And I totally understand why Rogan wouldn't, as someone like me wouldn't. If you're not deep dove down in those subjects,
Yeah.
you're just not capable of doing that. Try as you might.
yeah, you might know what you kind of want to get there,
Yeah,
but you
but-
know how to get it out.
You don't have the toolbox to
Exactly.
And Ed mentioned there was one or two times that he felt Dr. Malone was quoting facts that were from redacted papers, where some of the stuff that he was saying as fact were redacted.
Okay.
And so I don't know specifically. I can't remember specifically, or if he even said specifically
Well,
what it was.
redacted is not, and misproven are certainly not the same thing.
I wouldn't think, but the way he made it sound is like, those papers were redacted for reasons that they weren't the common thought anymore or something.
Well, retracted and redacted are two different things,
Yeah.
from my understanding.
Well, maybe he said redacted.
Redacted is different than retracted. Retracted. Redacted.
What did he say? Retracted
I
then?
don't know. You fucking said it.
I
didn't
know,
read it.
I'm not gonna
You've been
pull up his
saying
book.
redacted.
Not pulling up
But
his
isn't
diary
that
now.
when you fucking Sharpie out everything and you take out all that's a redacted. I mean, that's when you blur a lot of that stuff out.
Yes, retracted is different.
Is when you take it
Yeah,
back.
so he must have been saying retracted.
Okay, well, we're going to need clarification on that. to
Yeah,
make
I'm pretty sure because that's the only way his argument would stand up.
That's right.
Now, if you're doing 3.5 hours of a conversation, I guarantee you there's shit that we're wrong about all the time. And I
Well,
guarantee there's shit Rogan's wrong about.
Of course.
Or a doctor could be wrong about.
But even because something was retracted, it doesn't. I'm still not just all in on why.
Yeah.
Like it's just automatic gospel. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, clearly they took that back because it's absolutely true.
Great point.
Right?
Good point.
Not because there's any reason they don't want that out there.
Yeah.
No, clearly
Yeah.
not. And not in every case, but that doesn't exactly shut the door for me on
Yeah.
that argument.
Yeah, I agree. And there's just too much overwhelming evidence to shit pointing in another direction. And the fact that these people won't debate, they won't go on that Rogan stage. Why? Why? That's always been the play.
You would
Always.
think. That's
Through
the
human
easiest
history,
way to do it.
Debate is the only way to do it. It's not the easiest way, it's the only way.
True.
Let people hear both sides, play it out, dig a little deeper, play it out. Yeah. We're all in favor of that. At least I thought we were all in favor of it. That's
would
why I
hope
think
so.
something bigger is going on here. I don't know exactly what it is, but
Free speech.
honestly, I don't think it's fixable. I think we've reached the end of the line in this country. I really do, Troy. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic.
No, I know.
But I don't
know.
like if you've dug your fucking heels in that Joe Rogan is somehow the minister of fucking misinformation. A, you're wrong. History will prove you're wrong unless you just change the history books.
Well, there's a lot of that going on too.
Unless
clearly.
you just change reality. But I've read enough comments and enough fucking articles to know these people plan on going full fucking warfare against Joe Rogan and his show.
I think
that's to shut him up. They don't want this narrative out there.
I think we're in dangerous waters, and I think we're on the cusp of.
I think we're over the waterfall.
I don't think we're quite there yet, but we're not far from it. And I don't know exactly how we fix it.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Well, I'm not the fixer.
Who could possibly fix? Like, I don't see how you get two people in a room that so vehemently disagree. I mean,
I think that we need to focus more on the middle, and it's kind of like we were talking about, where people are starting to kind of wake up a little bit, starting to open their eyes instead of just the bullshit blind faith of Lord Fauci and this everything they've said is right across the board, Russiagate, everything that they just took at face value as absolute fact. And once that starts, those layers start falling apart, people are going to start questioning, start pulling back a little bit, and that's the only way that the tide's going to change. And it's funny, the censorship part of it is it's very, very slippery slope.
Yeah.
No
offense to Asian listeners.
Because it's great if it's supporting what you want right now.
Yeah.
But that's not how it fucking works, man.
No.
That's not how it works. You don't have once you lose it, you never
need the
get it
protection
back.
for unoffensive speech.
Yeah, once you lose it, you never get it back. Great, you think it's helping you now. Guess what? It won't always.
No.
It won't always. So if you're for it now, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna eat it too.
No, the argument they would present, and it drives me up a wall, is hey, fucking moron, read the Constitution, okay? The Constitution says the government won't interfere. Well, it's a pseudo-government, okay? These things, when you have protections in place like 230, when you have stuff like that, it's a de facto government shit. You're getting government protections, right? So you're in line, lockstep with the government. So whether you're Spotify or Apple or YouTube or Twitter or Facebook or any of them,
indirectly,
it's a de facto government. Like that, you're working in concert with them. They're providing you personally protections that normal media members do not have. Right? You can't just write something slanderous about something in print or on TV. I mean, they do, but you're not supposed to be able to. You're supposed to source things, and this protection that they've been given, all of these companies, they're able to let anything go and make their own rules about it.
The weirdest thing is that I'm the farthest from wanting more oversight.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I don't want.
Yeah,
but I mean, I almost wish there was some sort of oversight into miscommunication, for lack of a better term, of some sort of penalties, some sort of
never happened.
Well, that's just it. Until it doesn't fall in line.
Yeah,
right now. But that's why I say I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're fully over the waterfall. We're coming up. We're coming down the rapids. We're staring at that motherfucker. But
this is terrifying because people that throw out, and even Spotify cave in a little bit, well, or at least releasing what they deem misinformation, saying that they've pulled plenty of podcasts. Now, if we were on here saying vaccines don't work, they kill people.
Yeah.
Like that to me would be something where you'd go, whoa, hey man, there's a lot of people that trust your voice, listen to you, they think that they can believe you. That's dangerous. I can promise you no one is saying that.
No,
I've
definitely
never heard anyone say that.
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying,
maybe
that-
there's some fringe element. It sure as shit isn't Joe Rogan.
No, definitely not. And
He's
that's why
never
he
said anything
understands
like that.
his
Neither have
moral
we.
social obligation because of the size that he has.
Yeah.
And he knows that he toes the line. He wants the truth to be out there. And if to just kind of go back of why he wants to, why he would bother instead of saying, go fuck yourself, it's my show, I can do whatever I want. And to sort of go that way is because, fine, I want my information to be out there. I'm not going to let you cancel me. If that's what it's going to take to have the truth and the facts be out there, great. That's all I care about, because if you just call this misinformation and have a witch hunt and cancel me, then that word goes away.
Yeah. And I
But
don't know.
he's not cancelable. He's not, because if Spotify drops him, he'll anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he
you
can
can get a
still do his own
podcast
show.
anywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you know, yes and no. Because the danger to me is going down a road where they get to the point where they're locking your bank account because banks don't want to work with you. Okay, that's what happened to General Mike Flynn.
Yeah.
You don't bank here anymore. Your money's no good here, and kicked out of the banking system. What happens when your the connective lines that hook all this shit up that go out into the internet, you know, they don't deem you worthy of having that, right? It's not your fucking property, and we don't have to sell to anyone we don't want to.
Well, you're talking about that. I mean, that's social canceling and like absolute cancellation is a little different.
Well, this is
going that way.
A lot of people believe that the Great Reset is real.
That's when you're going over the fucking waterfall.
Yeah,
when that happens.
Well, that's happening. It's not close. It's happening. You know, Glenn Beck does amazing journalistic reporting on some of this stuff. I stopped listening for the most part. It's too scary. Yeah. It's too fucking scary to listen to some of the research he's got, some of the experts he's got on, what the plan is overall, and it'll spook people. Yeah. But it's going on right fucking now.
Yeah.
And this is all part of the plan. And the pandemic is the greatest gift you could give in order to try to lock down societies and reset things, start over.
Yep.
This is not a pandemic that's worthy of this response. I'm sorry, it's just not. Vaxxed and unvaxxed people alike, the death rate doesn't matter. It's 0.89%.
Yeah.
Not even 1%. I don't care how fat you are. I don't care how old you are. 0.89% go into the hospital or die.
You think they were jockeying for their spot all along with the swine flu and Ebola and all that stuff, like hoping one of them was going to catch just enough to get it, and then finally this was the closest one they got.
I was worried about Ebola.
We're in.
Ebola.
We're in. We got it. Let's go.
Ebola was the one I was actually worried about. Yeah, because if that one sparked like it should, I mean that was I shouldn't spit numbers out radically, but that was a death rate fucking way up there. And that one, it had that, you know, it landed in Dallas. I think it was Dallas, right? Where that dude
I don't remember.
got with Ebola, and then our nurse got it.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of hot Asian chick, nurse, young chick.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, the Rogan stuff. So he came out, and Spotify came out, made their statement. Spotify, I can read you a little bit about their platform rules and approach to COVID-19. Mm-hmm. A decade ago, we created Spotify to enable the work of creators around the world to be heard and enjoyed by listeners around the world. To our very core, we believe that listening is everything. Pick almost any issue, and you will find people and opinions on either side of it. So true.
Yeah, exactly.
Personally, there are plenty of individuals and views on Spotify that I disagree with strongly. This is Daniel Ek, CEO.
Okay.
We know we have a critical role to play in supporting creator expression while balancing it with safety of our users. In that role, it is important to me that we don't take on the position of being content censor while also making sure that there are rules in place and consequences for those who violate them. We've had rules in place for many years, but admittedly, we haven't been transparent about these about that policies that guide our and our content more broadly. Based on the feedback over the last several weeks, oh, you mean the crying fucking lunatic babies
Yeah.
who think they have all the answers?
Over the
Nobody has all the answers.
Over the past couple weeks.
Yeah. Over the past couple
Over the
weeks.
past couple weeks, we're going to change
Yeah.
a decade-long policy
Yeah.
over the last couple of weeks. Knee-jerk fucking reactions.
Yeah. And tell me how Dr. Neil Young isn't spreading misinformation,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Like who's policing the misinformation police,
Yeah.
right? Because you can't just put people in charge of that shit secretly on your side of the fucking political aisle and then just act like that's the holy Lord's word.
Apparently you can.
Yeah.
It seems to
Who's
be
policing
exactly
the
what's going
policers,
on.
and then who's policing those policers?
That's kind of
that
what
are
I was
policing the
talking about
policers?
with the oversight of, and I mean,
How about you
do
don't
that.
fuck with free speech?
Well, that's fair.
How about that?
That's fair.
How about we stop policing the policers who are policing the policing
That'd be good.
of misinformation police?
I'd like that.
Who need to be policed by misinformation police who are supposed to be policing all the misinformation police
What about censorship police?
and censorship police and disinformation police?
Okay.
Pile them all on there, 40 deep. How about you just don't fuck with if someone goes on and says, I am going to kill Troy Courtney today, blah, 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 blah.
Hey, what the?
Yeah, right? There you go. You broke the fucking law, asshole.
boy.
Now go deal with him.
That's how you catch hands, motherfucker. Talking shit like that.
Based on the feedback from the last couple hours,
It's so ridiculous. Yeah.
it's become clear to me we have an obligation to do more to provide balance and access to widely accepted information from the medical and scientific communities, guiding us through this unprecedented time. We've heard you, especially those from the medical and scientific communities,
Like Neil Young.
and are taking the following steps. Yeah, like Eddie Vedder or Neil Young. Really?
Nurse Jody Mitchell.
Today, we are publishing our longstanding platform rules. These policies were developed by our internal team and in concert with a number of outside experts. Yeah, who? Who are your outside experts?
Don't get fucking caught up in facts.
Yeah.
Don't worry about actual numbers. We said it. That's all that matters.
You can now find them on our newsroom. They'll live permanently on the main Spotify website. Okay? We are working to add content advisory to any podcast episode that includes a discussion about COVID-19. This advisory will direct listeners to our dedicated COVID-19 hub, a resource that provides easy access to data-driven facts. Up-to-date information is shared by scientists, physicians, academics, public health authorities around the world, as well as links to trusted sources. Okay, there's no such thing as a trusted source.
True.
Right? That's the point.
Everything is biased.
Yeah.
In some capacity.
You can't just throw that out there in some legal context, gobbledygook.
Sounds good.
Trusted sources. From what? CNN's trusted sources?
Yeah, from what we want you to know.
Yeah. To our knowledge, this contract advisory is the first of its kind by a major podcast platform. We will also begin testing ways to highlight our platform rules and our creator and publisher tools to raise awareness around what's acceptable and help creators understand their accountability for the content they post on their platform. No, we don't need that. Let us just do a show, and if people listen to it, that'll tell you whether it's good enough to stay on your platform.
Right.
If you're truly a platform and not a publisher, that's all that would matter.
That's the difference. Yes, exactly. Platform and publishing. That's
Yeah.
what Facebook went through and all that shit when it comes down to the censorship.
Yeah.
You're either just letting them have it or you're controlling it.
Yeah.
Can't fucking have it both ways, man.
Yeah.
Can't act like you're a platform and then
Oh, but they do.
and then control the flow of information.
Yeah. Young continues his crusade. He's gotten pumped up. I mean, this 80-year-old probably hasn't gotten a standing ovation in 20 years.
Yeah. This
So-
is as close as he got.
This is as close as he's
The whole-
gotten. He's
the whole
getting
left side of the
hand-jacked
room.
by
Yes.
the whole left side of the building. Yeah. He said, when I left Spotify, I felt better. Good for you, Dr. Young.
Sure you did. Your bank didn't, but you did.
He alleged that Spotify degrades the quality of sound by 95% so it could carry more content. Amazon, Apple Music, Quobuzz deliver up to 100% of music today. It sounds a lot better than shitty, degraded, and neutered sound of Spotify.
Oh, those all libtard sites?
Probably, yeah, of course.
Right,
and
Apple.
Neil, that's great. Then don't listen to Spotify. It's not the product for you, apparently.
No.
I understand it's not the product for my dad. My dad has very sensitive listening ears that notices every fucking flaw and mistake. It's annoying as shit. He's a hi-fi savant.
True.
And so, yes, my dad would agree with Neil Young about this. I don't give a fuck.
No.
I'm listening to podcasts.
Yeah, right.
I don't
exactly.
care.
It's not the
Quality doesn't-
phonics of the Joe Rogan experience I'm worried about.
So if you support Spotify, you are destroying an art form. Okay, Neil.
All right.
Turn it down a
Get
notch.
pick your battles.
I support free speech. You could say used to. I used to support free speech.
Therein lies the rub there, Neil.
Yeah. I have never been in favor of censorship. In the past, I have never been in favor of censorship, would be fair. I think he's just missing a few words.
Well, and he didn't say to censor him. He just said that if you're going to play that, you can't have my music.
Yeah, and that's what a bully does.
Except
Right, that's taking your ball and
except
going
that's
home.
the fucking littlest bully on the block. He went up against the real bully, and he was like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, but these types of people love jacking each other off and showing solidarity. And Neil knows that if I do this, probably Pearl Jam will follow suit. And if Pearl Jam does it, it means the whole Seattle sound has to follow suit.
Yeah.
And then all pop music, and then fucking MTV, and anybody at Warner Music and Sony Music. And
Neil Young is going to be the granddaddy of this whole revolt.
yeah, he's a hero,
Yeah.
rock star. He knows that it doesn't end with Neil Young. He knows he doesn't hold that much power. It's a couple million streams a month or a week or whatever. Doesn't hold that much power, but he does know that his name holds some legendary power, and he can almost shame bully other artists into joining this liberal crusade
Yeah.
against misinformation. Again, Neil, exactly what that is. I'd love to hear your definition of what Joe Rogan and the likes are spewing that is so misinformative. I mean, you don't say that. You just, like Dr. Fauci, throw the word misinformation or disinformation, deadly. You just throw those buzzwords around, but you don't ever tell us anything.
Nope.
Meanwhile, Rogan's doing 4 hours wiping the fucking mat with a lot of these people.
Yeah. I'm going to own Sanjay Gupta.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Sanjay's never been no one's ever been critical to Sanjay Gupta.
No.
No one's ever pushed back. Who's going to push back on CNN?
Yeah.
No one.
Of course
Ever.
not. No, they encourage it.
Yeah. Private companies have the right to choose what they profit from, just as I can choose not to have my music support a platform that disseminates harmful information.
Okay.
Harmful information.
Did they, though?
I am doing this because Spotify is spreading fake information about vaccines, potentially causing death to those who believe the disinformation being spread by them. They would all be Republicans, Neil. Your whole team's in lockstep. So I would think you would encourage those people to listen to more of this disinformation and keep dying off by the billions.
Yeah.
That'd be the greatest thing ever, Neil Young.
That's the angle that doesn't make sense of this whole
Doesn't
thing.
make any
It
sense.
just that's the piece that's out of place of this whole thing.
That's why you know it's a bully thing.
Well, I think it's
just
because I think it's because they fucking drink the Kool-Aid. They believe the bullshit that somehow if everyone were vaccinated, this was just going to go away.
yeah,
And if that's what you think and that's what you believe, then you're a fucking moron.
yeah.
And you're
that's-
you're a sheep. I mean,
it's-
you're just listening to what's being told to you.
Dude, if you would have told 20-year-old Neil Young, he'd be standing on the side of big pharma, big tech, and big government.
He would have shot himself in the face.
I mean, that's the narrative. Like the narrative he's trying to stand up for and bully against, or the people he wants you to fucking support
Yeah,
are big pharma,
basically.
big tech, and big government.
big government, exactly.
That's it. So, like, even if you want to get into the weeds about what the Constitution actually says about First Amendment and what's protected, government won't lock you up for your free speech no matter what you say, blah blah blah. If you want to even get in the it goes against the nature of free speech, honestly. When you're doing this, shutting everything down that you don't agree with, kicking it all off of what are today's town squares. Okay, Twitter is the town square. You used to have to meet in groups at a town square to get the message from the messenger. That's Twitter now. So you're essentially booting those people out of that world.
Yep.
So you are calling for censorship. You can disagree with me. That's fine.
The little
But-
jab on the way out about them, cutting the quality of the
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
too. Just a little extra
Yeah.
dick on the way out.
Say that to everyone on Vivo. You could say that to everyone on YouTube. The quality blows too on most of the shit that's on there.
Yeah,
And hey, well, guess what, Neil? Teach their own.
right.
How about you worry about what you listen to?
Would
and
you like
on
to have a
what
little bit of
platform?
super high quality, or would you like to have everything at a reasonable quality?
Yeah, which sounds great, by the way. Anyways, I've
Good
never
enough
had a
for
problem
me.
with Spotify. I throw on my little shitty Apple
Yep.
headset.
I rock the shit out of it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Absolutely.
It's great. By the way, it was way blown out over the weekend. You probably didn't see this, T, but
First of all, yeah, I had no phone either over the
Yeah, it
weekend,
was
which made it
comical.
so amazing. It was the most peaceful weekend I've ever had.
yeah, I bet.
I didn't watch a shit of TV.
Yeah.
I caught a little bit of the first game before we came back yesterday, and that was it, man.
Yeah.
Such a total disconnect. It was
Yeah.
like a spa weekend with girls or something.
You and Tooch on a
Great.
spa weekend. Just to wrap up this Neil Young Spotify thing, there was a lot of stories saying all these artists were dumping, and Spotify lost $4 billion.
$4 billion.
Yeah, in revenue, in market share. So they're crying. So now some are coming out and reading a little more detail into the story, giving a little more context. So headlines like, Spotify lost more than $2 billion in market value after Neil Young pulled his music over Joe Rogan's podcast. That was a headline in Variety.
Oh, so that Neil Young was the $2 billion, essentially, almost.
Yeah, or enough people cancel
Yeah.
their subscriptions
Right.
is what was going on.
Yeah,
You
I
saw a lot of that on Twitter. I canceled my subscription. It made these people rock hard. They were jacking each other off, showing screenshots of them canceling their subscription. And then the other thing they thought was really cool to do was,
I get mine for free.
yeah, in the content of like, why did you cancel? Because the quality sucks, or I'm broke, or whatever it is. There was other was because you stand behind Joe Rogan, that piece of shit screenshot.
Misinformation.
They just jacked each other off about
Yeah.
how clever they could get with their comment in there about, So many other publications had similar declarations. Spotify lost more than $2 billion, $4 billion because of Joe Rogan, which appeared to link the two events. But the text of the article pointed out, commenters pointed out, led to different conclusions. This is cherry-picked bullshit, Mediaite journalist John Siegler shared alongside a chart of overall stock situation for the company. The market in general was way down this week, but in the last 2 days of trading, since they announced Young was gone and Rogan is staying, their stock is actually up slightly. You moronic hacks have no shame. Point to when Neil Young pulled his music on this graph of their stock. You mean Spotify stock is down, kind of like the entire NASDAQ is down 20% in the same time frame? Is that Rogan's fault as well? Critical thinking fail. But then again, you weren't really thinking at all, were you? The whole market was down this past week. Did Tesla's stock also dip because of a misguided old man pulled his music from Spotify? The Variety writer admitted in the text of the article that Spotify stock was already in a spiral downward prior to Young's ultimatum. To be sure, Spotify's stock price was already on the slide, having plummeted 25% year to date as of Jan 25th, the day before Young's catalog was pulled off Spotify. The writer also revealed that the stock rebounded on Friday with a 1% increase that reflected the overall market upturn. But anyone just reading the headline would assume Young's departure had catastrophic consequences from a financial standpoint.
I wonder how much that drives just people just out of, we kind of talked about that Neil was doing it maybe just to get clicks, whatever, to get a little,
Get that last standing ovation.
Yeah. And I wonder how much of that will drive a little bit to Rogan, of people that are just on the outside looking in, going, "Oh, all right, well, I can only get Rogan on Spotify. All right, well, let me log on to that and sign up.
Hold on. Let me
Get your freeze worth."
see if I can get back on this.
What are you doing there?
Yeah, read that.
You gonna be a minute?
Yeah.
Because we were just talking about money, and I really feel like I just fucking read that one. All right, well, whatever. You know how much money you're going to need in retirement? Are you sure you won't outlive your money? Having a plan today means that you can adjust as your life changes. Retirement does not have to be a mystery. Contact Mark and Jay at LPL Financial today to learn the answer to one of the most important questions for your retirement. Call 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark or Jay.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Thank you, Isis.
Find it?
I did.
Okay.
I was going through Twitter this morning, and you what you just said reminded me of this. I had pulled a screenshot of it, and it's one of these threads. So it's by a guy named Andy Grewal. He's a professor at Law School of Iowa.
Okay.
Iowa Law School.
Yeah, I took his class.
Yeah. And he did precisely what you were about to suggest. Like, I wonder how many people got curious because this, their Q rating is so high and so in the mainstream world right now that you can't be help but be bombarded and get curious. So here's what this guy's thread says. Okay, the current hysteria made me download Spotify. I've listened to 30 minutes of the most controversial Rogan episode with Dr. McCullough. If this episode is representative, I have absolutely no idea why so many celebrities and coastal elites have lost their minds. It seems like Dr. McCullough sometimes says things that are wrong. He claims that COVID reinfection is a 1 in a 7 billion occurrence, for example. But it's now obvious that some people will get hit with COVID multiple times, even if you're vaxxed, boosted, blah, blah, blah. But more important, Rogan's approach is just to ask specific questions and let people speak. Example, tell me the people who disagree with your theories. Are they reasonable at all? I won't make any medical decisions based on this episode. Dr. McCullough speaks in largely impenetrable medical jargon, but I think the Twitter elites are probably wrong. I like the Rogan format, ask very pointed questions, and just let people answer. I'm now at the part of the episode where Dr. McCullough says the vaccines will cause people to die. But now Rogan is saying hundreds of millions got this vaccine, and this is fine. Can you explain what's so bad about this? I've only listened for an hour. I hate reductionist explanations, but I think the media hates Rogan because he actually knows how to interview. He asks great questions. His sin is letting people respond. I'll listen to a few more episodes and update. And then he does. I didn't want to download Spotify because I didn't want to listen to ads, but I only got a single ad at the 5-minute mark about some herbal supplement. So I think you can listen to a Rogan episode mostly without interruption. Make up your own mind. I'm now on hour 2 of this, quote, canceled interview. Rogan keeps asking questions that normal people are curious about. When will they give you monoclonal antibodies? Why would they refuse it to anyone? I know ivermectin is controversial. Are antibody treatments different? Again, if this is representative of the Rogan show, I've never listened before, by the way. It is utterly insane that the elites want this censored. Rogan just keeps directing questions that most of us, including me, want answers to. That's why I gather he gets 11 million listeners. Nearing the end of episode, Rogan asks, if I invite someone who is a proponent of the vaccines, will you take them on? This is the best approach. Let your guests speak, then challenge them.
Amen. And
Right?
God bless that dude. And fucking share the fuck out of that.
Right?
You know what I mean? That is exactly what it should be. And
Going
you're
in
right.
with an open mind.
Yeah, say, you know what? All right, what is this all about? Let me go see
Yeah.
what's going on. Because, as I even said, I put it out there when I saw the Malone thing, and I was like, if you're going to listen to these fucking headlines, but you're too lazy to actually invest the 3 hours to watch the actual episode, then you're invalid. Your point
Yeah.
is you're a moron. You're
Yeah.
a fucking moron. If you can take an
Intentionally.
opinion, willfully.
It's maliciously.
Yeah, if
You're maliciously keeping yourself in the
you can
dark
take
with
an
so much of
opinion
this.
on something without actually watching it, you're dangerous. You're fucking dangerous
Yeah.
to this world,
Yeah.
to yourself.
Yeah. And they
me.
would say, look in the mirror, asshole. You're just as dangerous spreading your misinformation.
Exactly.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. The WHO, by the way, the World Health Organization
Who?
recommended, I think this is like, I think they bury this. This isn't the headline.
Okay.
It's buried in small letters. But they recommended that countries around the world lift all COVID-19 travel restrictions.
Okay.
The International Health Regulations Emergency Committee of the organization stated in a report, and I got this from Ryan, by the way. Ryan sent me this.
Attaboy.
Report that blanket travel bans are not effective in suppressing international spread and may discourage transparent and rapid reporting of emerging VOC, variants of concern. Travel bans were swiftly enacted shortly after South Africa reported Omicron variant. The United States had a travel ban in South Africa and surrounding countries for about a month or so.
How'd that work out?
Yeah.
We're 99% supposedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
However, Omicron still spread rapidly around the world. Thus, the committee argued that such measures do not provide added value. Moreover, these types of restrictions contribute to the economic and social stress experienced by states, parties, countries, and others. Travel measures such as masking and testing should be based on risk assessment. The WHO also suggested not requiring vaccines as the only prerequisite for international travel, citing global limited access. Most people don't know about that. If you're a poor country, you don't have the vaccine. They're going on ivermectin and shit like that. And inequitable distribution of the vaccines. United Kingdom announced today that vaccinated individuals will no longer have to take a COVID-19 test upon arrival in their country. Unvaxxed travelers will also no longer have to take a day 8 test. The country will also no longer require face masks to be worn, nor will it require vaccine passports for large events. Yep.
I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, man.
Yeah.
I can see it. Might be a fucking train coming right at me, but I can see it.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
We'll get off it quickly, but someone that's been pushing back on a lot of this stuff also is Bill Maher.
Yeah.
And Adam Carolla went off yesterday, laid into the audience for Bill Maher. So Bill Maher's audience, they were doing this thing, talking about this stuff, and they're like, we're done with COVID. Fuck this. You might have watched that clip with me. Some chick had on there, and she's like, oh my God, I was double masked, and I was fucking triple boosted and vaxxed, and blah, blah, blah. Spraying everything down. I was crazy, I'm fucking done. I don't buy it anymore. I'm done. And the crowd erupted. That's what made it so impressive. Was like, holy shit, that liberal ass crowd is given it's like a standing ovation. Like, yeah, we're done with it too. And Carolla wrote, watching the Bill Maher show, now you pussies clap when Bill talks about getting back to normal. Shut the fuck up and admit you were wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, this is bullshit. No. We've been saying this for 2 fucking years. Now you come around to it? Barking seals? Fuck out of here. Admit you were wrong, and then we can start. Maher has become increasingly critical of his own party in recent months, taking repeated shots at everything from the left's criticism of the lab leak theory to woke culture, a move he says was simply rooted in his desire to tell the truth and has had the unintentional side effect of making him a hero at Fox News.
Yeah, well.
People sometimes say to me, you didn't used to make fun of the left so much. Yeah, because they didn't give me so much to work with. Arguing that allegiance to politics over sanity had led to liberals having their heads up their ass. The oath of office I took was to comedy. And if you do goofy shit, wherever you are on the spectrum, I'm going to make fun of you because that's where the gold is.
Amen.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Now they're just calling him an old,
Okay.
cisgendered white male.
Right.
So now he's on the outs. Yeah.
We need a young, mixed race, trans, something that is actually funny.
We've had that, though.
No, that's actually funny.
Yeah.
That can come out and attack all this and then give some credibility to it.
Yeah, but
all.
they just call him like the white face
to
of.
just assume his fucking gender? What the fuck? Oh my God.
Sorry.
Them, they, them.
They, them. Yeah, but we had that sort of with Milo Yiannopoulos. And now he's an agitator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Milo's gay as shit. He might have gone back in the closet, but either way, he dated like exclusively black dudes. He's Jewish. He's gay. And they called
like
him.
what you like.
Yeah. They called him a racist. It's like, okay, he dates black dudes.
Homophobe.
Homophobic. Yeah, homophobic.
Yeah.
They called him anti-Semitic.
Uh-huh. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Real trifecta there.
Yeah. He got all those tags. It was like, this is
That's
hilarious.
like the 3 Spider-Men pointing at each other.
Oh, my God. It's
Right?
so
A
funny.
black, a gay, and a Jew all pointing at each other.
Each other.
with homophobic shirts on.
I love this, too. Some people couldn't help but share this screenshot, thinking about other things I took pictures of when talking about Neil Young.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Young.
Yeah, address him properly.
Yeah. Rolling Stone interview he did in Melody Maker magazine in 1985.
Okay.
Neil Young backed Reagan's gun control policies instead of AIDS, and I quote, "You go to a supermarket and you see a faggot behind the fucking cash register. You don't want him to handle your potatoes." Needless to say, Young, he almost certainly regrets this. Yeah,
That probably didn't age well, huh, Neil?
no. But hey,
Okay.
would that be misinformation? Would that be disinformation? You see some faggot behind the counter, you don't want that guy handling your potatoes.
Well, I mean, it depends on how you like your potatoes, I suppose.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I'm glad he's been so perfect this whole
Oh, it's exactly funny that there's no witch hunt on Neil. That nobody's really deep diving into his
Yeah.
past to
Cisgendered
cancel
white male.
him. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny how that works. How one-sided the tide is.
Yep. Yep.
But no, that's what I hear anyway.
Yeah. No, it's split right down the middle. It's fair and square.
Right into.
Yeah. Why don't we just switch teams, T?
Fuck that.
I mean, why don't we just go woke as shit? Then we're untouchable.
Because I would make myself throw up.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't either.
I can't be that disingenuous. Can't
Yeah.
be that hypocritical.
Yeah.
I just can't.
I know, but to just keep your career going no matter what you say or do, your past doesn't matter. All the racist, dumb, stupid shit that people have done in their past.
I hate to tell you, pal.
Yeah.
It's cyclical. Yeah. It's cyclical.
I don't think it is anymore. That's why I think we're doomed.
That's why. No, it is, man. Come on. We're at a point in time. That's it.
Yeah.
This is a fucking grain of sand in the hourglass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's to say what's good or bad, right?
That's true. I just don't. I'd like to see that touch of gray, dude.
Little bit.
know?
I don't know exactly how we come out of it, but I do think, and like I said, you start seeing these little examples like the Mars and fucking Noah, Trevor Noah,
Yeah.
the old Daily Show guy, Jon Stewart. Like some of these guys that are just
Yeah.
over it and starting to just
Well-
start talking facts. Like, stop taking sides. Stop basing everything on your allegiance. Stop basing everything on what's going to save your career.
Yeah.
And let's just get back to reality.
Yeah.
Let's start fucking being real.
Evangeline
with each
Lilly's going down right now. Do you
Yeah.
know Evangeline Lilly? I think she was on Lost. She's on some other big show right now. But she came out, was against mandates. Just mandates.
Right.
Like, don't tell me what to do with my body.
Yeah.
Crucified. Absolutely. I'm sure she'll be booted from her show. And that'll just be the market kicking back. It's not censorship.
No,
it's
of course
not. No, it's not an attack on her. Oh, no. It's got a different. I think part of this might just be how egomaniacal we are as human beings. Selfish egos. And I've had to face a lot of this internally, right? Like thinking that the world revolves around Mike. Everyone can do for Mike, whether it's family or friends. And I have my own rationalizations and reasons. I hooked everybody up when I worked at Riff. I got everyone concert tickets and fucking sporting events and everything. I did my part. So what? I brought it up to you. It's like we all go camping we were up to your cottage and everybody brings stuff and I just bring me. And it's like,
You're the gift that keeps on giving.
yeah, right. And it's, luckily I've got a good enough personality that people don't just hate me.
Yeah.
But it's shitty. It's shitty. And I think with a lot of the things that we're seeing here, and I'm working on that all the time, man, about being more mindful. Like, no, dude, just because you're going through some shit doesn't mean anyone gives a flying fuck. They're going through their own stuff.
Right.
So get over yourself, deal with what you need to deal with, get your small wins and move on for the day.
Yeah.
Stop thinking Troy's thinking about you all day or Beth's thinking about you or your parents or your brother are worried about you and thinking about you. They're not.
Right.
They're worried about their own shit. So that's my ego bringing me down a couple notches going, okay. There's shit my brother or sister say that they've got going on. I'm like, holy fuck. And it's like, yeah, it wasn't top of mind. It didn't affect me personally.
I didn't lead with it.
Yeah, they're not running like, oh my God, my world's crumbling. Mike, what do we do? Like, no. So with that in mind,
Welcome
I
to
think that-
adulthood, man.
yeah, thank you. It's been a shitty
I'll get you a
eye-opening
card. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a shitty eye-opening, but I'm seeing it play out more and more.
It's not
And-
shitty. It's eye-opening. It's good.
right? But so many people are not doing this.
It's very true.
Case in point, Neil Young thinks he personally matters so much more than what anyone else's opinion is, that he needs to drive this narrative. And he knows what he's fucking doing. He knows it's not about him eating 20 grand a month in Spotify revenue. It's not what it's about. It's bigger than that, and he fucking knows it.
Yeah.
This Peter Dinklage. Peter has gotten so big and so wealthy.
That's funny.
He's gotten
I see what
so
you did
wealthy, yeah, and so popular, and has so much of a voice now that he can just cast his opinion and make giant multi-million-dollar projects disappear.
Yeah.
And I am, King Dwarf, and I get to declare that all dwarves will no longer do this anymore.
Papa Smurf.
Yeah, he's Papa Smurf. And it's like your ego is so big that you think your singular voice matters more than anyone else's.
Yeah.
Did you consult with all the other dwarves to see how they felt about your personal opinion?
Yeah, you get to
Before
speak
you-
for everybody.
Before you canceled an entire project or changed it? Well, another fucking midget came out and is like, fuck this dude.
Yeah, good.
You know?
So he said.
Yeah.
You're chopping these guys off. You're fucking taking food off their table.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Siete dwarfos.
Let's see. It makes me sick to my stomach to think that there are 7 roles for dwarfs that can't get normal acting roles, or very few and far between roles, and now they were gone because of this guy. WWE star and Muppets Most Wanted actor Dylan Posty said, Peter Dinklage is the biggest dwarf actor probably of all time, but it doesn't make him King Dwarf. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When he was cast as a little person role in Lord of the Rings or in Game of the Thrones or an elf or this, that, or the other thing, those checks cast just fine. He had no issue then, but now he wants to be progressive? Come on, man. I don't know if Peter Dinklage is still acting or if he's done. He's very much still acting. It's pretty selfish, though. People came before him. If it is his mindset that he wants to be the only one out there, then you got to grow up, man. No.
Yeah, I see what you did
Cheap
there,
shot.
too.
Yeah, it's a cheap shot. It's not helping our community. It's taking jobs away from our community that are very few and far between as is. We are in a society in a time of woke and progression, and I get that to an extent, but this is a fairy tale.
Yeah.
He insists that he and some fellow dwarves actors would be thrilled to have the roles. To be in a remake of one of the biggest fairy tales, biggest Disney stories of all time would be enormous. I know me and 6 other little people would love this role. Disney, call me. This would be a dream role for me. I am begging for one.
Yeah.
But,
How big of a slap at the face is it going to be if they just take regular actors and like CGI them into being just smaller, and just do it
Like Honey, I
digitally?
Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah, just do it digitally. Just make them smaller. There you go.
I mean, I don't know
no
how
little
you-
people were harmed in the making of this movie.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know how you do it, because you could make them not human.
Yeah.
And then that would be a bigger slap in the face. Like,
Right.
comparables like, oh, we know what the original was, human dwarves, and now you made them fucking alien. Like,
Yeah. We couldn't actually have real midgets doing this, so
Yeah.
we're gonna make it something else.
yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, so what happens.
University of Nebraska, Lincoln,
Cornhuskers.
go Cornhuskers.
Think about that. That's their team name. It's shucking fucking corn.
Yeah. There's a lot of corn in Nebraska.
I guess, but that's like your team name, like
Do you know who their mascot is?
a fucking ear of corn.
No. Herbie Husker. I think he shucks corn.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. Same. Well, I always thought it was like like an ear of corn kind of thing. Maybe it's
They might be running around the
something
stadium
like
too.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they could be.
Herbie Husker.
Herbie Husker.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I mean, mascots,
really.
we don't know. I know. we don't know too
Sparty
many of their
can kick
names.
his fucking ass. I know that.
Yeah. Okay, we got Sparty.
Yeah.
What's the Wolverine's mascot?
Wolverine.
Yeah.
They don't have one. They're above that shit.
Have you seen that dude on the sidelines for the 49ers game? He's the running around Sourdough Sam.
No.
And then the Chiefs have that fucking weird long neck bird thing.
Oh yeah, because it can't be an Indian.
No. But they can all do the
I heard that, yeah.
chant all game
Yeah,
long,
yeah.
doing the fucking
luck, yeah.
tomahawk chop.
Try stopping the crowd.
Yeah.
You know,
Good luck
you
with
can
that.
say you can do it, but
The University of Nebraska has altered its mascot and their hand gesture and the logo for the school's athletics after receiving some complaints about connections to white supremacy. Let's see. The university changed the look of the image of the Cornhuskers mascot, Herbie Husker, that appears on school apparel to show Herbie holding one finger up, like we're number one now. This was the...
Did he have 3 before? Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, okay, I recognize that dude. Looks like a fucking car salesman.
Yeah.
Really...
Yeah. And I just pulled one image.
I know.
Like
No, I get it.
There are clear ones or better ones, but
Your dick is that big.
that big.
They don't totally touch. They stay
No.
a little bit across.
And what's with those nubs of fingers?
Well, listen, you fucking husk corn all day. See what
Yeah,
they look
well,
like.
that's fair. He's apparently giving the okay sign. So the implication, obviously,
Clearly
is white
racist.
power.
Racist.
Right.
I mean, look at him. He's white and everything.
Yeah. The concern about the hand gesture was brought to our attention by our apparel provider and others, and we decided to move forward with a revised Herbie Husker logo. They'd been considering the change in 2020 after the death of George Floyd.
They really felt that in Lincoln, did
Oh,
they?
yeah, they sure did. Yeah. Internet trolls and white supremacy groups have tried to turn the OK sign into a symbol of white power, claiming the 3 fingers form a W and the circle and wrist form a P. That, in turn, gave Herbie's OK sign a potential meaning his creators never intended. Are you sure? Are you sure?
What's that, about 100 years ago they came up with that? Give or
Probably
take?
at least. Are you sure you weren't subtly saying white power? Can you say that definitively, Lincoln?
They can't. That's why they had to get rid of it.
Well, the new meaning was brought to the attention of Lana Henricks, the
Over all the complaints we've heard over the last few weeks,
yeah.
we've
We got
decided to
3
change.
total phone calls.
We've decided to change our 100-year-old logo.
Yeah. The athletic department's licensing and branding director, just weeks after George Floyd was murdered, Floyd's murder prompted racial reckoning and protests across the country, including counter-protests where members of hate groups flashed that sign. That was made up. You know, that was a 4chan joke.
Yeah, right.
Fucking joke. That hand gesture in some circles represents something that does not represent what Nebraska athletics is about. We just didn't even want to be associated with portraying anything that someone might think, you know, that it means white power. We made that change as quick as we could.
And in all honesty, I have no problem with that. If there's something in there that, intentionally or not, can have that connotation as a university, I have no problem with them updating it. You know, don't put them into a fucking smart blue fucking tuxedo pantsuit.
Yeah.
And some black loafers.
Yeah.
You know, tranny him up real proper.
Yeah.
But if you want to change what he's doing with his hand so it doesn't look like it's an okay symbol for
Yeah.
white power, I'm pretty okay with that, in all honesty.
I would be fine with that too.
Now, if they just come out and it's some fucking yoked out black dude, like all of a sudden, I think we might have gone a little too far.
Sure.
But I can appreciate to get rid of that just to avoid it.
Well, I would normally agree with you. Like
I
they're
don't like
entitled to do whatever
I don't like
they
the
want.
knee-jerk reactions, but something like that is very subtle to where I could say, okay.
It would be nice just once in a while for someone to push back on this stuff. Instead, here's my fear.
Remember the Amazon when they got rid of the fucking logo because it looked like a Hitler mustache?
No, I don't remember
Really?
that one.
Yeah, like the Amazon thing, like the way it was supposed to be, I think, like the tape on the edge of the box kind of
yeah.
a thing. That looks like a Hitler mustache. They had to change their logo
Yeah.
because it looked like a Hitler mustache.
Yeah.
That's like, how about you just fuck off?
The only problem I have is it fuels this never filled up monster.
True, that's
that
true.
wants to rip everything down.
Yeah.
They're just walking around planet Earth looking for offenses.
That's what we've come down to. We've already knocked all the statues down, so we're down
Right.
to
And
Husker,
at some point,
Husker Joe, Husker Do, whatever.
yeah,
Hanky Husker.
intent should matter. I've said it all along. Intent that needs to matter.
Yeah.
I hate these people that say intent doesn't matter. Yes, it sure as
It
fuck does.
absolutely does. Nothing else should matter.
Nothing else should matter. Intent is what matters.
Yep.
In 2017, the OK hand gesture acquired a new and different significance thanks to a hoax by members of the website 4chan to falsely promote the gesture as a hate symbol. They're just making jokes out of this now. So let's see if we can get this to catch on.
Yeah.
This is the Anti-Defamation League. saying this. The letters WP for White Power. Blah, blah. The OK Gesture hoax was merely the latest in a series of similar 4chan hoaxes using various innocuous symbols. In each case, the hoaxers hoped that the media and liberals would overreact by condemning a common image as white supremacist.
I love it.
The overwhelming usage of the OK hand gesture today is still its traditional purpose as a gesture signifying assent or approval. As a result, someone who uses the symbol cannot be assumed to be using the symbol in either a trolling or especially white supremacist context unless other evidence exists to support this connotation.
Do you remember when Buckwheat flashed that sign?
Oh, fucking Tate.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Tate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cancel that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Out.
Clearly racist.
Tate. Throw him right on the Aunt Jemima pile with fucking
Ben?
Uncle Ben sitting next to him. Cancel them all, T.
Oh, man. Yeah. Clearly racist.
Brooklyn teacher's been blown out.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's
What guy?
Christopher Flanagan.
Okay.
And he didn't diddle a student or anything like that.
No?
He's a nerd math
No
guy.
aligning the chakras, nothing?
No aligning the chakras.
Oh, man.
I'm aware of.
What do you got to do now?
He taught math at Coney Island Prep, claims his words were misconstrued.
Math.
Yeah. And that he was only trying to show the vulnerability of this massive crime. So here's what this fucking pile of shit did.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
This took a turn.
Pile of shit.
All right.
So you've got the, and they came out and said, as of this afternoon, Mr. Flanagan is no longer employed at Coney Island Prep. So you had the funeral for slain New York Police Detective Jason Rivera. He's 22 years old, called to a domestic situation. Well, I don't know why they didn't just send counselors. Isn't that?
Yeah.
supposed
We
to
shouldn't
do
have
now.
police doing that stuff anymore.
No, police shouldn't deal with domestics.
Yeah.
They should send.
What do you think is going to happen when that social worker knocks on the door?
Yeah, it's going to go great. No, they've got it all figured out. So it's
Yeah.
going to go great. But they didn't send social workers. They actually sent police over there, and this fucking nut job murdered 2 of them.
Okay.
And then the third rookie cop that was like doing a walkthrough with these
So you're
guys.
proving their point for them. It
Yeah.
had to have been social workers. No, everyone would have lived.
Sure.
Because the police were involved, that's why.
And this guy, this third cop, took down the bad guy. And cops in New York City went nuts over the weekend or a couple days ago, whatever it was, because who was it? The AG, the mayor, I don't know, said something like, "Oh my God, we hope all 3 souls rest in peace," and named the 2 cops
and
and
the guy.
the fucking murderer.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, "You fucking God." So they had a funeral at St. Pat's
Okay.
Cathedral, which is unbelievable. If you've never been there, I recommend going there. Whether you're religious or not, it's a stunning work of art to see in person. It's unbelievable. And the place was packed to the gills with police supporters, police unions, policemen, women,
everything.
like all there. And the street, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. It's fucking sidewalk to sidewalk, wall to wall, as far as the eye can see.
Packed like a-
sardine packed.
Like a WNBA parade.
Even more
Okay.
people than a regular WNBA
All right. That's a
parade.
lot of people.
I mean, packed. So this guy, Flanagan captioned the photo in his Instagram story. 5:30:20, NYPD SUV drives into a crowd of protesters. So he's got this picture, and protests for George Floyd are getting out of hand, and the cops are stuck, and people are trying to bang on their car, and then it starts getting a little heated, and then there's fucking shit just being chucked at their vehicle.
Yeah.
And the guy, the
Time to
cop,
go.
just fucking pulls forward, and people had to step out of the way.
Yep.
You know, they weren't going to get run over. No injuries were reported. No one was hurt. And he says he takes a picture of this massive crowd of cops and captions it, ideal conditions for reciprocity. Reciprocate. So he's got
Thanks
the
for
picture.
clarifying.
Yeah. Well, for people maybe even a little dumber than us.
Okay.
So the play there is this cop, what he did in getting out of harm's way in the middle of a fucking raging riot.
So we should have a
We should
a
have-
Waukesha situation
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, we should
Perfect
just
setup
mow
for
these
it.
people all down. He says, and so yeah, that happens. They're like, okay, you're fucking fired. People
Yeah.
were outraged.
Good.
He's got a comment now. I was really just trying to show the vulnerability of all these police officers being in the same place at the same time, which seems like a dangerous situation for anyone that would be gathered together. Flanagan told the paper that
Like a Christmas parade or something like that. Yeah, it is.
same.
Yeah, it is vulnerable.
Flanagan said he told the paper he took the post. He's talking to the New York Post. Took the post down after two friends, one of whom is a cop, questioned what I meant by the post. I respect the NYPD.
Clearly.
I do not condone violence. Clearly. A 22-year-old police officer murdered in the line of duty is reprehensible. I'm devastated by that.
I can tell.
I'm devastated that his partner passed a week later. These are not things that sit well with me.
This is a horrible fucking statement, by the way. The verbiage is awful.
He said his use of the word reciprocity was not meant to be a call for violence against cops.
Okay.
Okay. But it was
I mean,
like
that,
100%.
by definition.
Totally was. Not in the sense for people to be driving or be doing anything similar to what the police did, but they put themselves in a similar position by being all there, all together. And it's similar to how the protesters were. That I was trying to use that word to almost be the inverse mirror of that. The police were now the people that were gathered together, and the protesters were people that were gathered together, both in dangerous situations, but by no means implying or inciting or promoting anything that should be a danger to anyone else.
Okay. First of all, I'd love to see somebody fuck with that crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch the bullets
Oh,
fly.
yeah. How fun would that be?
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong crowd to do that. Into.
Yeah, exactly. And second of all, I mean, with your reciprocity, I don't think that there was going to be a minivan driving down the street and the police are going to just start surrounding it and rocking it and tipping it over and breaking out
Breaking
the
windows, throwing
and,
garbage and bricks at it.
pulling people out and stomping their fucking skulls.
Yeah.
I mean, apples to apples, right? Clearly, this
Yeah.
is what we're talking about here.
Same thing.
Yeah. No, the vulnerability of it all.
Flanagan's post was in reference to the following Floyd's death, as I said.
Yeah.
Then Police Commissioner Dermot Shedd said the cops did not use the vehicle in a forceful manner. Even Mayor Bill de Blasio called footage of the incident. He called it troubling, but also blamed protesters for not getting the fuck out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
No injuries reported. Cops who saw...
Nobody even got hurt.
No, not even an ankle sprain.
Right? Just slow rolling out of there.
A Brooklyn officer said, "You have a city worker wishing physical harm or worse to fellow city workers during a solemn service. It is the ultimate act of cowardice." There was one more. Jacqueline Guzman was released by Face to Face Films theater company after ranting, and now deleted. It's always now deleted.
Yeah.
TikTok about shutting down most of Lower Manhattan for Rivera's funeral on Friday. So many fucking people were there. "We do not need to shut down most of Lower Manhattan because one cop died for probably doing his job incorrectly."
Classy.
Yeah.
Classy.
They
as
kill
fuck.
people who are under 22 every single day for no good reason, and we don't shut the city down for them. She then pans the camera to show ambulance cop cars blocking the streets of New York. This is fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. What if someone's having a heart attack in this area? No one can get to them because it's all blocked off for one fucking cop.
Oh, did someone die that couldn't get there? I'm pretty sure if something
Yeah.
happened,
No.
it would happen there because the police wouldn't be blocking the streets, not letting traffic go through, unlike I don't know,
Yeah.
other peaceful protests.
Yeah. Yeah.
They weren't protesting; they were gathering
Yeah.
to mourn the loss
Yeah. By the tens
of
of
a colleague.
thousands.
Yes.
I did want to mention, we got a couple emails, but I got an email from Dawn at MyPillow, too.
Oh, all right. Hi, Dawn.
Yeah, I probably should read the stuff before I go out with it. But we have some wonderful offers lately.
Okay.
Slippers, 50% off.
Oh, hey, now you're talking.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Overstock items, sheets, 60% off. Those Giza sheets are the shit.
They absolutely are. The Gizas are 60% off?
I think so. That's the only ones they have. 60% off, as low as $39.99, depending if you're going twin bed to king.
Fucking A, yeah. I'll re-up on those.
MyPillow.com, enter promo code TDC. Also, Lindell just announced that that your customers will receive one of his books, What Are the Odds? From Crack Addict to CEO, absolutely free with any purchase using your promo code.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah. They will see the book in their cart at checkout as soon as they put in the promo code. Let me know if you have any questions.
Wow, that's really great.
His book goes through all the shit he's said on this show and many, many more.
Oh man, that's worth it right there.
Yeah.
Very
Free
cool.
copy of the book.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. And it pops up automatically in the cart. In the cart.
I'm telling you, and the Gizas are fucking worth it, man. The
Gizas
they
are awesome.
They really are, man. I'm not even a sheet guy.
Yeah.
Put them on, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Legit.
I get it. Yeah.
The slippers. I love the slippers. 50% off.
Yeah.
Raj swears by the towels.
Nice. Yeah.
Absolutely loves the towels. And he hates Mike Lindell.
Yeah.
Like, wishes harm on Mike Lindell.
Yeah. But the towels, hey,
But the towels.
some things
he
you can't
argue.
dispute.
Yeah,
Can't
can't
argue with it.
Not to mention the fucking pillows, man.
Yeah, of course.
I'll save this one for tomorrow. Nick Beverly, I probably shouldn't use your full name, but I got your
Who?
email. We spent too much time on Neil Young today, but there's some interesting stuff in there. Maybe we'll touch on that tomorrow a little
Okay.
bit because it's a little lengthy.
Say it.
Mike, SoFi Stadium has had a mask mandate for fans all season. This is not some new power move for the Super Bowl. Also, your friends that have had enough of COVID restrictions, what is it that they are restricted from doing? We haven't had really anything I can think of for quite a while. I was flying in May of 2020. I went to a big meetup at a restaurant in June 2020. They had to close back down for a while that winter, but since around April 21, I'm not sure what restrictions there are. Well, different parts of the country are different.
True.
Way fucking different in California. Way different in California.
New York.
And I didn't say, parse my words carefully, friend. I did not say my friends have had enough of COVID restrictions. I said they've had enough of COVID. They're done with COVID.
Yeah.
They're not playing your little rules anymore. If they are forced to wear a mask into a doctor's office, they will. But they're not pretending like this is running around murdering everybody and scare porn.
Yeah.
They're not doing it. They're not fucking wiping down handles and
We've played the
wearing
game long enough, and we're
Yeah,
still
we're done.
exactly where we started.
And that's where I am.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
Not doing it. It's basically what Bill Maher said and his guest.
Yeah.
Done. We're done with this shit. Knock it off. Trying to scare the shit out of us.
Right. Where's it end? When's it go?
Yeah,
It's not going away.
doesn't.
So is it we just doing this for forever?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the fact is, there are major parts of this country that have not gone to a restaurant in 2020, 2021, or anything close to that.
Right.
So for those people, they need to wake up, and start living their lives
And
again.
what the real repercussions of this are? It's more than just the mandates and the masks and, and the vaccines. It's a lot more than that. It's like we were talking about today. The fucking restaurants being closed and the economy is going on right now.
Yeah.
There's the trickle down effect of this is what's going to be the real long term problem.
Oh, yeah.
Not fucking COVID.
Yeah. And as far as SoFi Stadium goes, I don't know what their mask mandate rule is. I can tell you I watched that game yesterday and saw almost no one wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And the ones that did have the chin diaper shit screaming their heads off all through that stadium. So there's no enforcement of that. And I think a lot of that's going on in California. They're not enforcing a lot of the draconian things that you keep hearing.
Yeah.
You know, flashing your the papers to get in a lot of
Your
places. are just like,
barcode.
yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Scan that, baby.
And the reason I did that was because it was a story in the news that day.
Yeah.
It was being reported widely that this was something put in place. So I don't know whether they did that all year. I don't really care. I think it's ludicrous to make them do it now.
Yeah.
We've watched 200 games in packed stadiums for a year.
I know.
It's been no breakout anywhere.
All season, exactly.
All season people
they
have been
would
in there.
They would rush to put that out there if it was.
Oh, they would
This
jack
is
off
dying
to
for
that
a
news.
super spreader.
If they could get one event where 15 people caught COVID,
Yep.
it'd be the biggest outbreak in the world, and they'd
Exactly.
close every stadium and bar.
This
and
is what we've been
gym.
talking about.
Yeah,
This is what we've been warning you about.
stop it. Stop
Right.
with that nonsense.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna piss my pants.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Good enough.
All right, kid. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow.
Sure.
We'll do it again. Thanks everybody for hanging with us.